Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, AR the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about the latest goings on in Maine. Obviously, need to do a couple things here. Got to set my stuff back up, get my 2A t-shirt back out front and center there. Make it all nice looking. But yeah, so basically, you had a bunch of attacks happen here in Maine in the last couple hours. Crazy shit's going down left and right. And we were joined by Vandrick. What's going on, Vandrick? There is no Vandrick.
What's up, bro?
Oh, man.
One sec, I'm trying to get my headphones to work.
Okay. So yeah, from what we know now, there's reports of 22 dead, 50 to 60 injured, give or take. This happened in it was Lewiston, Maine, which is very leftist. It went for Biden, I believe, by like 10 or 12 points in 2020, something like that. And needless to say, there was 2, possibly 3 different places that were hit. There was reports of Walmart distribution center being attacked, but I guess Walmart has now since, or the Waltners, I guess is what it was, came out and said no, their place was not actually hit. It was just this potential bowling alley and then a pool hall, both of which were having some kind of league nights at them, so they were packed full of people. So I don't know. I find it very suspicious, though, this happens the day we get a new House Speaker, being Mike Johnson, who is supposed to be pro 2A from Louisiana. So anyway. But yeah.
It won't work with my AirPods, but whatever.
Okay.
I'm just still up here. I'm up here at the hospital. My daughter's about to come.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So this makes what? 2
Number
sons, 3
5.
daughters?
3 boys, 2
Oh,
daughters.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, let me let on Steel so he wants to get a link in here. Let me drop it. All right, your link has been dropped. Let on Steel. So. Anyway, there's obviously some new info that's come out on this whole thing. Supposedly, this guy in question that they're claiming did this massacre today in Maine was over the summer sent to a mental institution because he was hearing voices and a bunch of other crazy stuff, and basically was let back out by the state of Maine potentially. So, and of course you got It's the Guns trending all over Twitter/X right now, which is obviously a bunch of fucking idiot leftists who are anti-gun, being like, "Oh, we gotta blame AR-15s and everything else now for this." Yeah, meanwhile, it's not being proven. It's all SSRIs and stuff like that, pretty much. So, I hate to say I'm right, but I'm always almost right on this stuff. And I guarantee I know what this happened to. If it wasn't a false flag, which I think it actually is, it's to push gun control. It always is. And the fact you got people calling for it that quickly already in the last, bodies aren't even cold yet, like hour or two after it happens. Like it's always about gun control. It's always about control. Period. It's about taking away the rights of the citizens and fucking over the rest of us is what it is then. Putting us under tyranny and just all kinds of insanity is what it is. So, anyway, just a sad situation all the way around. So, anywho. What's going on, Let on Steel?
What's going on, fellas? Can you hear me good?
Yeah.
All right, good. That's been checking X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Looking at updates and stuff.
Yeah, there's a ton of people trying to blame the guns, obviously, for this.
Oh, no, they wouldn't do that, would they?
You got that idiot Tariq Nasheed trying to blame white people for it, obviously.
Yeah, that's always his MO.
Yeah. Even though, are we even 100% sure the shooter was white at this point? I mean, he looked kind of whitish, but like, who's to say he's not some light skinned Arabic guy for all the fuck we know?
Well, there's a picture I seen or a screenshot from the Maine Information Analysis Center that's
Yeah,
got a
no, I saw
picture.
that.
Said he's a firearms instructor. Shit, they'll probably
Yeah.
come after all of us saying we can't take firearm classes now.
Yeah, I assume that we're talking about the same thing here with this. Yeah, it's popping off all around social media sites right now, which would be this whole thing. I'm not gonna
Yeah, that's exactly what I
show
was
too
looking
much
at.
of it there. I don't really want to give this asshole credit as what it is right now, especially when we don't know 100% it actually is this guy or not.
Yep.
But yeah, according to this, what it said was, trained firearms instructor believed to be in the Army Reserve stationed out of Saco, Maine. According to law enforcement, he was recently reported mental health issues, to include hearing voices and threats to shoot up a National Guard base in that area. So it was also reported to have been committed to a mental health facility for 2 weeks during summer 2023 and subsequently released after that. And then was the last known to be operating a white Subaru, which is Outback, which is the exact car that they found there. So, yeah, who knows?
Yep.
And again, who's to say this isn't a new version of DC Sniper or something like that?
Yep.
Or it could just as easily be something crazy where it was fucking Democrats being like, oh, they put this Mike Johnson guy in the speaker. Oh, let's go ahead and do another one of our MK Ultra agents now and start attacking the fucking gun rights of everybody again.
Oh yeah, I mean he's one of their own, so of course they activated him.
Yeah, you've had the people on the It's a Guns hashtag talking about voting out all the Republicans that voted against gun control and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, of course, because you guys want to push that shit. But instead, you could actually just, I don't know, pack all your stuff and get the hell out of this country and go to one that already has a bunch of gun control in it that you love and find out firsthand how good it is there, which is not, obviously. It sucks because in most of those places, it's now a whole bunch of acid attacks and knife attacks and stabbings and stuff like that everywhere.
Yep.
So I thought this one was pretty good here. This kind of goes back to the whole, well, you don't put people on drugs and stuff like that, especially not at early ages. Children can't consent to puberty blockers. In under 30 seconds, kid chooses 2 Oreos over $10,000 cash and still believe in the tooth fairy, but yet can make chemically castrating decisions in his own life. Yeah, no, he can't.
Yep. Crazy.
It's like the same kids that they have on that stupid Generation Gap show where it's like a 3-year-old, 5-year-old, and they're like, "Here's a brand new car for your family." Or here's this little toy car that's like $60 that you can have for yourself. Which one are you going to choose, little man? And they always choose little, think themselves what it is, obviously.
Yep.
I think there's only been one time where some kid actually chose the family car is what it was. So
have they even caught the guy yet? Is he still at large?
I don't know. Let's go check and see what the latest is now. Maine. Shoot. All right, let's see. Going to the Google search here. Got CNN 11 minutes ago. At least 22 dead. Suspects still at large.
Oh, okay.
4 minutes ago, from some local affiliate, 22 dead, 50, 60 injured. Person of interest. What's this one say? Person of interest sought. So, again, still at the loose, probably. 14 minutes ago, 22 dead, dozens injured. 6 minutes ago, New York Post. At least 22 dead after being gunman up in several locations. Firearms expert named person of interest. So, yeah, pretty much just seems like they're just still looking for the guys, what it is then.
I still want to know about all the reports of maybe a second or third shooter, too.
I wouldn't be surprised by it.
Yeah, he was covering a lot of ground.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, too. And well, I mean, I don't know. Like, because it makes sense. Like, because obviously they said multiple locations to begin with. And like I said before you got here, they're talking about Maine distribution or Walmart distribution center. And then it was either the executives of Walmart or the Waltoners themselves said, no, it was not our place that was attacked. It was some bar and grill place. And then like some bowling alley or whatever it was.
Right.
So, and then of course that bowling alley was having league night on it. So it could very well be something like that, where the guy just knew there was going to be a shitload of people in there and was like, "Oh yeah, let me just go in here and make this a big ass soft target," knowing it was a gun-free zone, pretty much.
Well, see, I was listening to some recordings of the police scanner, and one of them said that there was a live feed that one of the restaurants had of their own, and people saw 2 shooters on it. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have no idea. It's just insane.
Yep.
And I think that's what it is. Honestly, it's the chaos, and it's even stuff I was talking about here recently about possible World War III scenarios that lead to a second Civil War / revolution, and it could very well be things like that. Honestly.
Yeah.
So, all right. Sorry, Corey was probably gonna jump in here in a minute. Then,
Oh, Corey's coming.
yeah, you see, yeah, Vandrick's back.
Okay, that's better.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, my extended family's not doing too great tonight. My sister-in-law's mother is probably going to pass before the end of the night.
Sorry to hear that, man.
She has been very sick for a couple of months now, and she's got fluid building up on her lungs and stuff like that. So they can't drain it all the way. So yeah, I think she's probably going to drown in her own fluid is what it is then. I forget what the actual terminology is for it, but yeah, it's a horrible way to go out though.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my friends just lost her 4-year-old boy because of that fluid in the lungs. Yeah, it sucks.
And then if we actually believe in reincarnation, who's to say that her spirit wouldn't just go into Vandrick's newborn?
Right. Yeah, I believe in reincarnation like a motherfucker. That shit is real.
Mm-hmm.
I love watching the stories. Have you ever looked up like a lot of the videos and stories and stuff on that?
I've
It is
seen a
so
lot of
interesting.
them in various like paranormal shows and stuff like that when they're talking about little kids that have had like past life experiences.
Yeah, like a lot of. I watch a lot of like I don't know. I forget the YouTube channel, but it's like basically it's like 2 YouTube channels
Uh-huh.
that's based off that, and they just tell all these stories that and I like the most interesting ones to me are the World War II vets or World War One vets
Mm-hmm.
that get reincarnated. Those are the most interesting ones to me.
Yeah, there was one thing I was reading the other day, and it was talking about if somebody had gone to sleep and then woke up in the trenches of World War I, and what would happen to them, basically.
He went
So
to sleep and woke up and
yeah,
remembered.
no, it was a like scenario thing of like, okay, you go to sleep as an adult wherever, like 2023 here, whatever the case be, and then you wake up like an hour or two later, whatever, and you're now waking up off of a bunk in the trenches in World War One,
Damn.
and like where it would go from there. And it's like it was basically talking about it would be the person that like would have no firearms experience at all and whatnot, and they would just be like, here's some rations to teach me how to shoot this gun that I've never operated before, et cetera, to like one of the other soldiers and stuff. So yeah, it was pretty interesting.
That would be insane.
Yeah. I mean, if you didn't know how to use a bolt action, it would be definitely a bad deal for you there. So if you're bad at your arms to semi-autos only and stuff like that, it's like, yeah, it would be a lot harder to be able to
I
get
would
quick to
like
it and whatnot.
one, but the one
So,
I want is a little expensive. I want the Ruger Precision.
mm-hmm.
That's the one I want.
Yeah, there's only a couple that are technically legal to hunt with here in Ohio, so it'd be like some kind of Ruger American and one of the straight old cartridges. So, which at that point I really just have an AR and like 350 Legend or something.
What about 308?
We can't use necked cartridges. It's only straight walled for deer.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it has to be like 350 Legend, 40 Bushmaster, 4570. You can use 357, 44 Magnum. etc., etc. You can even do handguns, obviously, with those calibers, but it has to be 5-inch or longer handguns. So, and there's people that will go out there with like a 5, 6, 7-inch barrel handgun, and they rest, and they'll just sit on top of the rest and be like, "Ding," and just take a deer like that. Which the ironic thing
Yeah.
about that is, though, is that it's only for deer specifically. Like we can go hunt coyote with 5.56, 7.62, whatever the case be. Yet for white-tailed deer, it has to be straight old cartridges only. Like it's just such a stupid restriction. And again, it goes back to people that are, first of all, not hunters in this state in power, and then it's also the stupidity of a lot of them not being gunners entirely is what it is. So it's just a way to restrict freedom is what it is. Let's see here. Trying to see if there's any updates on this whole thing yet. Okay, that was just what you call it from a few minutes ago. You're talking to that idiot Janet Mills, who's the Maine governor right now. She actually, because I have some family that lives in Maine, they talked about her first term in 2019 between, 2018 is when she won, so she took power in 2019. Between then and 2022, she restricted so many gun rights in the state of Maine that the previous governor had done in place. It was just so unbelievably ridiculous. But anyway, so all right, let's see if we got anything
Yeah, I
new
always
here.
thought Maine was like a sanctuary state.
It is a constitutional carry state, and
See, that's what I thought.
they do
Like,
have good gun law. They do have somewhat good gun laws there, at least when
Yeah,
Paul
they got
LePage
really
was
good.
governor.
Yeah.
It's just that Janet Mills, whenever she took over, in like the first literally year, less than a year, I think is what it was of her first term of governorship there, she basically pulled back everything and got the Democrats that were in power there to strip everything basically except for constitutional carry. And yeah, she fucked over everything. So really, like, she's 100% partially blamed for what happened tonight. Is what it is there.
yeah, true.
That and obviously, the continued like 30+ years of gun-free zones in this country, where all these massacres happen at.
I
Which
wonder
was
when
just
people
saying.
gonna figure that out.
Well, that's the thing, and the fact that this happened in a pool hall slash bar was one of the locations, and then the other one was a bowling alley that I'm assuming served alcohol too, for that matter. They probably had giant gun-free zones on the fucking doors, is what it was. Like, no firearms allowed in this establishment kind of thing, or something like that. And that's what this guy knew. He knew almost nobody in there carried, is what I'm guessing. And then it was, doing as done. So, I don't know. You had found this one earlier before you guys got here, which was this dude talking about revolution and how, and I quote from this man, he said, "I don't have time to worry about hating anybody. Just need to go out and make a living, go make money. Need to feed my family and save up for my kids." And then basically talks about how it's just division and stuff, and it's the poorest people being divided and whatnot. And the
Yeah,
only way
that's
to fix it
true.
is a revolution. So,
That's true.
and then of course you got the "it's a guns" hashtag trending there. People talking about "fuck the guns," and then everybody just basically shit talking gun rights and everything there. And got to be worried about what I show actually here. So don't want to get a strike for something stupid there. Yeah, a bunch of people showing the guy's thing here. Let's see. This guy said unarmed people are a problem. They let a diagnosed schizophrenic be a firearms instructor. Let's see. Shooter had mental illness issues. Continued to commit to mental health facility for 2 weeks. Threatened to do mass shooting. Still had AR, etc. Who's to say he wasn't a primitive person at that point? Again, they're falsely claiming that he actually had access to guns. So, oh, of course, you got somebody shit talking Florida for being a permitless carry state now. That was a couple weeks ago. So, Yeah, just
Over
much.
half the country is permanently scary.
Yes, it is. We
So
are 20. I forget if it's
31
27 or
states.
28.
It's 31 states now.
Is it that? I don't think it's that many.
Yeah,
I thought it was 20.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure Florida
yeah,
was like
yeah,
28.
27. Yeah, it's 27 states. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm tripping.
I wish South Carolina get off their ass and make ours that.
Yeah, because I want to say it was. Yeah, okay, yeah, it was 27. Because yeah, South.
Yeah,
It would be Louisiana would be 28 if
if
their
they
new
pass it,
governor
yeah,
takes it next year, and then South Carolina, North Carolina would be 30 after that, and then it basically goes to where does the domino effect happen for the other 8 to make a convention of states be like, hey, this must become a nationwide thing now.
yeah,
So, although that
yeah.
being said, I think when you get to that
You
30,
only need for a convention of states is 38 or
yeah,
36 states. 36 or 38, I forget.
it's
I think
38
it's
states.
36.
No,
38.
it's
Okay.
38 states. Yeah, I looked it up several times, and thing is, convention of states only happened once in the history of this country, and it was during our founding fathers' time. And even they realized when they opened the Pandora's box and everything was on the table, then they're just like, shut that box because we don't need to do anything right now, and just
Yeah,
throw it across that table right there.
yeah,
That's why I don't think Gavin Newsom understands that stuff. He wants to sit there and bitch about that retarded version of 20th Amendment to take away the Second Amendment rights of everybody, but yet doesn't realize that if we had a convention of states, could just simply say, hey, Gavin, California's not a state in America anymore. Go fuck yourself. And just start stripping, status of entire U.S. states at that point. Now, will that actually happen? Maybe. Who knows? Enough people were sick and tired of Gavin Newsom shit, they might, honestly. And I think a lot of us are at this point, honestly. But anyway. Let's see. This was actually a pretty good one this afternoon. You had, I think this was today, actually. It was Senator John Kennedy exposes the Department of Homeland Security. Since Biden has come into office, how many non-citizens have come into our country illegally or under the guise of asylum claims? 8 million, which is 4 Nebraskas, aka 4 new states. That's insane. And that's just what we know about, too, by the way. That's just what we legally allowed to let in this country. That's not even all the illegals that they, were getaways and stuff like that. So, all right, let's see. A lot of people were talking about the guy here. Okay, so people were talking about mental health issues with this dude again. Committed mental health facility over summer. Army reservist, firearms trainer. Threatened to shoot up National Guard base in Maine. Let's see what this person said. So if he was all these things, why would he be going to shooting up a bar, etc.? Well, again, we talk about, possibility. MK Ultra is what it is. So
that is a very good possibility.
And I mean, I've talked about this before many times, like what would be the things that lead to this, and it would be one of those things, honestly. And I think I talked about this one time before, actually. Like, who's to say that pulse alert that happened a couple weeks ago wasn't just them activating the entire fleet of MK Ultras? Would it be then?
Liar,
What's up?
liar, fucking liar.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
going on, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
much.
I'm only here for a little bit until I have to get ready for my flight. Still here at work.
Are you coming to see me?
Yeah, just talking about what's going on in Maine right now. I don't really have much updates right now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Seems like all this
Honda
is
had
bullshit.
jumped in for a few minutes in the back chat a while ago and said
I
that
sent him a link. He never showed up, though.
Oh, he had to go to bed. He just got home. He was
That
tired.
makes sense. Yeah.
And Leo had to go to bed because he had to get up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
But
Do stalking
Honda
and
did
stuff again.
say that they apprehended the suspect like an hour ago.
See, there's been that report going around, but then they said it was false, so who the hell knows what's going on there?
True. And that's what I was telling them, that there's
Yeah.
so much fucking information being regurgitated that. Nothing, in my opinion, has been verified.
Yeah, because they were saying on Fox News a couple hours ago, one of the guys that was on there, he's like, "Oh yeah, there's like some random security guard in the hospital talking about telling people to get down. And the guy might be coming back around to the hospital to try to finish off people and stuff." And it's like, yeah, maybe. I mean,
Who's to
nothing
say
would
the
surprise
guy's
me.
not dead somewhere?
Yeah, could be.
Or, this was a 3-letter agency,
Oh, I guarantee
alphabet
that was
gang
the thing,
boys
obviously.
that, perpetrated this, and you're going to find a dead body that matches a suspect in the woods tomorrow.
Yeah.
There's so much fucking I don't know.
Well, not only that, but then we also have the mask technology now where they could just shove a mask that looks like this dude on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah, like there's, 1 minute there's 3. He went 3 different places shooting, and then oh no, there's 3 active shooters. I don't know what's fucking true at this point.
Yeah. Well, like I was saying before you got here, Walmart came out and they specifically said that their distribution center was not attacked. So
Yeah, because that was reported.
yeah, it was a bar. It was a bowling alley, and then it was a bar that potentially functioned as a pool hall as well. That was full of people. So
So I know on one hand they said 16, on the other hand they said 22, and then they said 50 to 60 injured.
yeah, the main story now is seems like it's 22 with 50 to 60 injured currently.
That just doesn't sound like one guy to me.
No, it sounds like.
Well, I mean, what was El Paso? It was like 18 or something that were
that was
wounded,
one
I think.
location.
Yeah, true
That
enough.
was in Walmart.
Yeah, and then obviously Dayton, that happened like 13 hours after that. It was only, I think it was like 13 or 14 that were killed here. But then again, some of those people were proven to be killed by the cops at that point.
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, technically they can't say that, but like when you have the autopsy results come in there and it's like, hey, these people have both 5.56 and 9mm rounds in their bodies that were fatal wounds. Like, yeah, pretty sure it was some cops' bullets that hit some of them is what it was.
Fracture side.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, bullets go back and forth. That's what I was saying. I ain't surprised if he did kill those amount of people because most likely he ain't shooting hollow points and stuff. So it's going to go through a lot of people.
Well, and that's just it. And it's like, the thing is, like, how much did he have with him, if that be the case? Like,
yeah.
Was it multiple magazines on his person? Was it, a backpack at one of the locations?
Yeah, it had shit staged in every locations. You never fucking know.
Hell, for all we know, looking at that picture of that like bowling alley place, for all we know, like the top friggin' thing for the shoes had like a bunch of magazines stuck in it or something.
Right.
And he was like a co-owner of the damn place or something.
Ethnicity he is.
Yeah. Well, it looks like probably a white guy, but again, the fact that we have, stuff coming out now that he was mental institutionalized over the summer for a couple of weeks, let loose. People obviously have a like to take gunners trying to be like, oh, but he still would have guns, except if he was actually truly a threat to himself or others, he'd be a prohibited person now because of that.
Mm-hmm.
So again, if that were the case, where did you get the guns from? Or was it something where he was in there for a couple of weeks and they were like, no, you're mentally fit, you can have your gun rights back, etc. Because it could have been something just like, because I know for a fact with Maine too, I want to say this is something Janet Mills signed into place back in 2019, which is something called a yellow flag, which is sort of similar to red flags.
Yeah.
But it's like, it has to be like, it's more steps to it, basically is what it is, where you have to have like actual hearings with the people there and not just like some ex parte bullshit behind their back is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to have like, I think it's a mental health care worker and then a judge and then like somebody else all sign off on it together is what it is to actually take away people's gun rights is what it is there.
So at least you have due process.
Exactly, to somewhat anyway. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised with something like that, honestly, where they're like, okay, we're going to yellow flag this guy for something. And then they're like, okay, we're going to hold him here for like a week or two, whatever it is, to like be like, oh, he's hearing voices or whatever the case be. And then it turns out like it's just, him being whatever then.
Right.
So, and they're like, yeah, you're fine, dude. So
with recent events and everything similar to this, we may never know, honestly.
Oh, I don't think we ever will know, honestly.
Because say if there is a quote unquote manifesto
Uh-huh.
I think we're gonna fucking see it unless it's proven he's a MAGA supporter, and that bitch
Yeah.
will be plastered everywhere.
Speaking of which, did you guys hear about the Nashville tranny festo and the judge that's been holding on to it or whatever was getting shot at yesterday or a couple days ago?
No,
Yeah, I heard that the other day. He apparently, I guess there was people like doing pot shots at him or something.
you're talking about the one that where the female tranny, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that went into Covenant School and killed all his kids. Well, not all his kids. Killed 3 kids and then 3 adults. That's what it was in that situation.
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, it was. I forget where I saw that yesterday or the
Man,
day
that's
before that.
nuts.
Yeah.
The
And
irony.
I think honestly, we've already kind of seen that manifesto come out because if y'all remember that shooting down there in Florida at that dollar store, like just take out, whatever race they threw in there and just put in like trans or Christian or straight or whatever the case be, and there you go. Like that's the manifesto.
Well, they had I don't know if y'all heard about it. They had a gun control summit in Washington. I think it was on the 25th. A bunch of governors went there to talk about it.
Hmm.
Did y'all hear about it?
No, I did not hear about that.
Yeah,
I didn't either.
They kept it pretty low key and didn't really talk about it much.
I wonder why, because they don't want the American people to know that they're doing fuckery behind the scenes again.
Well, I mean, the thing
I'm
about
telling y'all that ammo buyout is gonna be bad, man. That ammo buyout is gonna really fuck us. I'm telling you, I think that's a government operative working in foreign countries that just bought out all the ammo companies.
Yeah.
Well, I was looking at the stuff with the Czechoslovakian people, whatever it was, that bought out. I think it was Federal and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And supposedly it was billionaires, what they're claiming. It was like 20-ish, 25-ish, something like that. And he actually said he was super pro 2A. And then even the guy who was the American like CFO or whatever it was for Federal came out and was like, no, this is a good thing. Like this will help us all in the long run. So, I mean, if you take it at face value, like hopefully it's a good thing.
Actions speak louder than the words.
Yeah, exactly. I would say if they just keep cranking shit out the way they need to be, like, yeah, I'll take you at your face value then, but until you do that, like, yeah, again.
And stop with these fucking government contracts.
Yeah, exactly. If anything, the government should be the last ones contracted with anything.
Yeah, no shit. But like someone pointed out, they get, a top dollar
Mm-hmm.
paid. So of course they're gonna take these government contracts because they're gonna get all the money up front. They're gonna get top dollar for it. So they have every fucking incentive to take these contracts. But if they were for the people, they would tell them to get fucking bent. That our largest consumer base is obviously the citizens. So
Exactly.
fuck off.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I mean, like, why wouldn't you do the right thing, honestly, on that one?
Because
Like,
most
protect the
times
race.
it's
Greed.
easier to not do what's right.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate too.
Money talks and bullshit walks, just like you
Yes,
said.
it does. Yes, it does. So, anyway, let's see if there's any updates to the situation. Let's see. We got. Okay, 9 minutes ago from NBC News, claiming as many as 60 people have now been killed. Or, sorry, have wounded, not killed. Let's see here. Yeah, 60 injured when a man shot at several locations, including a bowling alley in Lewiston. 4 law enforcement officers confirm. Let's see, at least 22 people killed during that. They're now releasing the guy's name as a person of interest. At Shimoners Bar and Square Town Recreation. I think that was the pool hall / bowling alley. Or not pool hall / sports bar is what it was there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bowling alley. Said 50 to 60 people were wounded at several locations, including a bowling alley. According to law enforcement officials, local medical center said it was responding to a mass casualty event. Officials have urged residents in multiple towns there to shelter in place. The local county sheriff issued release of photos of a man with a rifle, and the caption says suspect for identification. Cops now say they're on a manhunt is underway for this person. City around 37,000 people, almost 30 miles north of Portland, Maine. So, yeah, I mean, again, and the fact that I've been to Maine one time in my life back in 2014 for my uncle's wedding to my current aunt. And I'll tell you what, there is so many woods in that place, and there's like so many nooks and crannies where you could literally just like slide over a hill and be like ducked back into like a cavern kind of thing is what it is there,
Mm-hmm.
and just hidden for like hours at a time if they could not find you there. Really, is what it is.
Oh yeah.
So it could be anything like that. And if this dude was obviously doing pre-planning, like they're never gonna find his ass.
Especially if he was smart enough and planned enough to have several cars staged in different locations.
See, I don't know if that would be like a thing though. Honestly,
I mean, if
I mean
your goal
maybe.
was to get away and unfortunately create more chaos,
Mm-hmm.
why would you not?
Yeah, I mean, and again, this could be one of those DC sniper kind of things where it's like a new thing like that or
Mm-hmm.
something.
He could have easily, like Matt was saying, had a little room or something or a shed or something staged somewhere,
Yeah,
had supplies for, like restock,
there
resupply,
is. I was
shave
watching
his
a
beard and
movie.
hair off.
Yeah, I was watching a movie recently, and it was this guy who was like a survivalist type who had built like an underground bunker thing in the woods where all he had to do was like pull the thing down, and they couldn't even tell you were there, and they were stepping over the shit too, for that matter.
Yep.
So yeah, it could be anything like that, even for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just comes popping up again, goes on another set of massacres or whatever the case be, and then dips back down into that hole or another hole for that matter.
With enough time and planning,
Yep.
anybody can do fucking just about anything, especially
Yeah.
if their goal was to commit evil acts.
Yep. Very true.
But luckily for us, these evil doers like that aren't fucking smart enough to do that. Their goal is basically go create as much chaos at once as possible and then do the pussy thing and take their own lives. Or
Yeah.
have the cops do it for them because they're too much of a coward to do it themselves. I don't know. It's just fucking sick, dude. This world's going to hell in a handbasket quick, fast, in a hurry.
Yeah.
This world needs Jesus. People need to start getting right with God because Jesus is coming back sooner than people realize. And I know a lot of people in these chats and everything aren't, Christian like I am or believe in God, but I do, and I'm not quiet about it. I'm not trying to shove it down no one's throat, but I'm not trying to hide it either.
So somebody was pointing out that the new House Speaker, Mike Johnson, about 6 months to a year ago, was on the House floor saying the following, quote, "Listen to the language carefully. It's expressly written in the Constitution. The president shall be removed from office on impeachment for and convicted for treason, bribery, or other crimes and misdemeanors. I just listed a small sampling of tip of the iceberg of the credible allegations and mounting evidence that shows that Joseph Biden has engaged in bribery scams." So, I don't know. Maybe he is Mega Mike.
We'll see. Like I said, actions speak louder than words.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense if they put in some guy like that. Like, it was just like a bait and switch or whatever, where it was like, oh, let's go Jim Jordan. Oh, you don't want Jim Jordan because he's mega as fuck? Okay, well, we'll bring in somebody else that's not mega as fuck. Oh, wait, you don't want that guy either? Okay, cool. We're going to bring in this guy now.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like like a sleeper cell type of thing, but
Yeah,
not a sleeper cell. What's the word
like
I'm
bait and
trying?
switch.
That yeah. Well, I guess that suffices.
Yeah.
The other three fuckers are awful quiet. Wake up.
I'm here. I'm looking at something right now on the map. Just give me a second.
Oh, you're good, brother. I'm just messing with y'all.
No, I'm just trying to see these locations, man, because they're really spread up far apart.
Yeah, as this thing said here, it says FBI has a list of conservatives, and they watch their every move to ensure that they are not breaking any laws before they consider being a patriot a radical idea. They somehow had no clue a man who was in a mental health facility who threatened to do a mass casualty event might actually do it and pay attention to him.
You know the fucking cops. This dude was on everybody's
Oh, this is
radar.
100% a fucking setup at this point.
Yes.
Oh,
You
without
can't
a doubt.
tell me like the cops like to use in this day and age. Someone like him, if he was in a mental institution and
Yeah.
saying what he would like to do, they're not going to take him as credible once they release him. Or saying he's going to do this if he gets released. Because people are so fucking worried about mass shootings and everything these days. Act like it's an everyday occurrence or it's an epidemic or whatnot. They're not going to take this guy serious. Yeah, a couple shit.
Yeah, and then going back to the hashtag it's the guns, you got this little stupid cunt saying, shooting in Maine was preventable. Republicans didn't care and don't act after children were polarized and decapitated by gunshot wounds during the Uvalde shooting.
Oh
They don't
my
give
God.
a single fuck.
Decapitated.
Shut the fuck up, you dumb son of a bitch.
Seriously. That shit is annoying.
Uvalde could have been easily prevented if the cops had a pair of fucking balls and not just cocksucking cowards.
And then, of course,
Right.
everybody's showing.
Standing up over there in a fucking circle jerk.
Yeah, if they would have kept that dude
hanging
before
out
he
and
went
shit.
into the school, they had plenty of time to shoot that dude before he went into the school. But oh my god, they saw an AR-15 and they got scared.
I mean, if that's the case, they could just let the fucking parents go in. I'd let them handle it if you're so fucking scared.
Yeah, no shit. They're fucking pussies, and every single one of them should have been fired and not allowed to be a cop again.
They should have got a minimum of 10 years in prison.
And prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law for not only being a coward, but the loss of life that could have been prevented had they done their fucking job that we taxpayers hired them to fucking do.
I mean, technically, Supreme Court ruling said they don't have to go in and do anything.
I know they said they already told the world that, or America, that they don't have a duty to protect anymore. So why the fuck are you in that job?
Yeah.
Why do we pay your salary? I fucking hate cops. All cops are bad. All cops need to fucking lose their jobs.
And then, of course, you got other dumbasses on this saying, what's this person saying here? Don't worry, the endless thoughts and prayers will flood this platform because that's all they got, instead of saying it's the guns and doing something about voting for it.
Shut the fuck up. Guns are not the problem. It's evil. And y'all don't want to do a fucking thing about it. You want this shit to happen.
Yeah. Well, mind you, these are the same assholes who for the last, 2 weeks now have been doing the pro-Hamas terrorist fucking rallies everywhere.
Yeah. But that's not an issue. Give me a fucking break. That's worse than what they're fucking claiming, thoughts and prayers. That's what this country needs, is more praying.
Yeah. And then, of course, you got this asshole here showing all the white shooters from various things. Doesn't mention how almost all of them are Democrat voter bases.
Yeah, left wing. Batshit crazy.
Okay, between the two shooting places, did they say if he was driving or walking?
I don't think that said yet.
Because if you go by driving, and of course this is with clear roads, it'll take you 20 minutes to get to the location. But if you're walking, it takes an hour and a half.
Well, they showed his white Subaru Outback, I think is what it was.
Right.
Outside of the one, I think it was the bowling alley. So it could have been something where he just stole another car, even for that matter.
That's true too. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I mean, hell, he could have ran out with a gun and been like, "Give up the car, bitch."
Yeah.
I'm just trying to go over timelines, man, because they lie so much on this shit that you got to look at this stuff yourself to
100%.
know what's going on, you know?
Well, it's just like, y'all remember Sandy Hook, right? Where it was like, oh, it's 3 shooters. Oh, no, it's 2 shooters. One of them's dead and one of them's in the back of the vehicle.
Yeah.
Oh, next day, it's just 1 shooter.
I still don't know about the guy that was walking out in the woods that everybody said they saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, that's all. all these things are fucking shady as fuck. Well, it's just like Dayton here 4 years ago. They could have prevented it 100% had the kid that did it actually been locked up in 2012 for doing rape and kill us in his high school. But because his parents were like, hey, random police chief, here's a stack of cash, let our son go. And he did. The kid basically walked free back to the high school a couple days later. People were all like, why the fuck is he back in our high school when he was doing this shit? And they're like, I don't know. And then, yeah, he went on to do a bunch of Antifa affiliated crap, was what it was then. So. And of course, Democrats here used that 3 days after the fact to try to push through gun control here in the form of red flag laws, universal background checks, magazine bans. What else did they do? I'm trying to think now. Is that it? I know those were the big ones at the time. I feel like there was something else too. Yeah, I can't remember. But yeah, it was at least those three anyway. And they've continued to try to push for that crap since then. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Vandrick, that baby must be coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if California and Judge Benitez upholds the overturning of the AWB and the magazine and stuff ban, where that's no more in the state of California, that, in my opinion, shouldn't that set precedence where any other state thinking about doing that kind of restrictive shit should go out the window?
Yeah.
Because if California, a very left-leaning Democratic shithole, has determined that that's unconstitutional, you think it would stop everyone else from doing it? I'm sorry, Led, I cut you off.
No, you didn't. No, I was just agreeing with you.
Ah.
I was just saying, yeah.
Okay, so as of 35 minutes ago, there was a local update with some police chief guy in Maine for the local affiliate there who said at least 16 were dead. He wasn't sure if it's 22 or not because he doesn't have a firm count on the actual deceased at this point.
Right.
And was saying that, yeah, they're looking for the dude whose name will not be mentioned on this chat. That's what it is. And then right now you got AK Nation News having his chat talking about 22 plus dead, still in the guy still on the loose. And his panel's discussing it. So
good job on deleting TC's chat earlier, Corey. I missed it because I was looking at my phone.
Oh yeah, no. I as soon as I saw it, I immediately deleted that bitch on my phone.
Yep.
I'm not gonna have that. We don't need that.
Yeah.
Give him any more fucking clout than he.
Well, I mean, it's TC, so of all people, of course, he would put the name out there.
Yeah. At least he actually apologized. That shit. That kind of.
That did surprise me there.
I think there's multiple people behind that account, honestly.
Who, TC?
I want to know how the hell he creates them so motherfucking fast.
There's a couple. I think there's a couple different ones. Is what it is. So it depends on which one's actually posting. Could be multiple people at that point.
There's no way I could even remember a password to another account that fast, let alone make a new account.
Right. Luckily, my computer will save my information, so maybe that's how he does it.
Possibly.
But even so, I mean, that he's creating them so fast that you can delete every single one of them that he comes back in with, and just as soon as you delete it, he's back in the chat with under a different one.
I've done decided if I ever do a live chat in the future, I'm going to put where you have to be a subscriber for 30 days.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That would nix that shit in the bud.
Yep. Like, let the chat get going and then implement that, and then he couldn't make another account.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's some people that do that quite a bit, actually, to keep, like, bots out of the streams and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing I haven't seen lately. Remember how that was a big issue in Matt and Honda's chat where all these sex bots and, you know...
That's been about a year now, honestly, and it's right around the time that Russia and Ukraine started going forward.
I haven't seen that in a while. And...
So, yeah, the last one I really saw was, like, as soon as you had Russia and Ukraine sort of getting into it and doing, like, trench warfare, it was like all of a sudden those just disappeared out of nowhere.
Brian.
So who's to say
sounds
if
like
one of the
Corey.
strikes hit the fucking place they were doing the hacker,
Good.
the compound, whatever it was? Who the hell knows?
Sounds like Corey misses his links.
You know it.
Sexy 18 plus girls here for you.
Click on me right now, and I will steal your identity.
Hell no.
Oh, baby, like Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Oh, behave.
That's a man, baby.
Probably is now.
If you guys ever get the chance, you need to check out Males in Disguise Twitter account.
Oh God, I can just
It's
imagine.
it's literally a dude that just does trans stuff on there, and it's like so many self owns. It's not even funny. Like
Tactical vagina.
there was one of them talking about. They're like, oh, even if I don't have a vagina, like, should I still be wearing pads? It's like,
Oh,
no.
good God.
No. Tactical hatchet vagina said that we need a Corey chat, a CC, if you will. No, you're funny.
Oh God, I looked up that Males in the Skies, and they've got a tranny getting a dick sewed onto him. Great
Oh
picture.
my god.
Yeah, some of that stuff is not friendly, and I would never show on this chat. Just to be
No.
clear, YouTube, that stuff I was showing earlier from the It's the Guns hashtag, I did not know was there. So do not try to channel strike me for gore.
I got duped pretty damn good the other day. um Fucking Matt had we were already giving Duke shit the other day. Let's see, what was it? Because the clowns and shit, how he's scared of fucking anything scary and spooky. And then Matt sent him a fucking picture of like cock and balls, where the head of the dick was like a scary alien, kind of like a Langolier or something out of Stephen King movie. And Duke was like, no. So I was fucking with him and said when a vasectomy goes wrong, and I sent a picture of a dick cut off like Mr. Bread Knife guy. And obviously the picture I found was it was a fake one. Like they made it, and it was a prop. And then Duke was, yeah, he freaked out.
As N Wokeness said here, one guy said voices in the head are telling him to shoot up military bases and was released from a mental asylum. Other held Nancy Pelosi's podium. Guess which one was hunted down by the FBI in the name of fighting domestic terrorism?
Right.
Another one was Let Go.
So what was he listening to? That one song, Voices in My Head, by
Falling in Reverse.
Falling in Reverse, yeah.
Damn good song.
So is
Watch the World Burn.
The zombie one, what was it called?
Zombified.
Zombified, yeah. If you listen to the actual lyrics of that song, it's pretty fucking spot on.
Oh yeah, it definitely is.
And the music video is awesome.
Same with Watch the World Burn too.
Yep. But they're actually fighting a horde of zombies and shit while they're singing and everything. It was a great video.
Oh,
yeah, and then of course people
are
are still saying this dude is a registered sex offender, so who knows if that's true or not.
Oh, we know one side won't like that.
Yeah. So if that's true, they're going to try to squash that quick.
Oh yeah.
Of course. Yep, they hate their own is what it is.
Somebody put on Twitter, it's insanity that just a few days ago America was shown what happens when they're not armed by what Hamas did, and today it's back to it's the guns that should be banned. So true.
Yeah, on the flip side of stuff with Mr. Mike Johnson, new House Speaker, you had this afternoon. New U.S. House Speaker Johnson, my first bill that I'm going to bring to the floor will be in support of our dear friend Israel. And Sabina Hernandez said, really enjoyed the first few hours of his speakership, where all we had to hope that all of our money wouldn't be going overseas again.
Yep.
Let's see what the FBI trend is going for now.
You gotta be the world's bankroll, that's for sure.
Right. FBI is about to join the manhunt for the mass shooting suspect in Lewiston, Maine, state's second largest city and about 36 miles from Portland, Maine. Maine State Police are asking residents to shelter in place. The situation is ongoing. Let's see. Okay, that was Vivek talking about Owen Schroyer about a day ago. So you got Jesse Waters a couple hours ago. FBI had 40 informants inside the Biden family for years now, apparently. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I did not hear about that until now.
I hadn't either.
That's really interesting. Let's see what else we got here. 42 minutes ago, FBI locked up grandmas for January 6th, but ignored a trained firearms instructor who threatened to shoot up National Guard base and has a history of serious mental health issues. What does the FBI actually do? Well, I'll tell you one thing. On August 12th, 2019, they targeted people like myself with a federal knock.
Yep.
Over some bullshit that I said about Andrew Yang in a chat that was months old that I had posted after the fact and forgot it was even in that part of that thing. As a what if scenario, and it was basically quitting Yang to Hitler. And
Who is
you can guess the
Andrew
rest.
Yang?
He was the fucking idiot dude in 2020 who tried to claim that to combat innovation and automation in our country, we're going to have UBI or Universal Basic Income for everybody then.
The Yang Gang.
Yeah, he was the Asian dude.
So why would they attack you for him saying that? Like,
It was a whole thing. Like, I'm not going to go into what it was actually said, but it's a whole fucking thing. And they're trying to claim that I was trying to threaten a presidential candidate or whatever the case be, and it's a whole bunch of fuckery. But then they made to my face as they were leaving about 40 minutes later. We wasted 6 days on this? You literally had the FBI agent look back at me and say that to my face. And I'm like, what the fuck did you just say, bro? Like, say that again on camera, please?
man, that's crazy.
Yeah. And then what's even more disturbing about that story is that was on a Monday. Wait, was it? No, it was Monday because it was the 12th. They knocked on the. Wait, was it? Yeah. It was the Monday they knocked on the door, which I think was the 12th. And then it was the 13th that we actually had the talk. And then it would have been the 16th, which was that Friday. I think I'm having my timeline correct on that one. I went to go to my local card shop then. No, they did not, by the way. They never showed me a fucking warrant or anything like that. And that's when they were like, they were even asking me about, like, oh, you own guns and stuff like that. And I'm like, it's none of your fucking business. Like, literally.
Never talked to the
full
police.
Constitutional on them. And then, yeah, it was that Friday. Like, I went to the card shop to just hang out with my buddy who owned the TCG. And some female showed up there that I'd never seen before, never seen since then, who was clearly side-eyeing me, and I'm pretty sure she was actually either a federal agent herself or a federal informant for them. And was really, really creepy interaction between her and the people that were running the shop that day for about 20 minutes or so. And then I was looking at her like, I know who you are. Like, I'm not going to do anything. Might as well just get the fuck out of here and go find somebody else to be your patsy. And yeah, that was the last I ever saw of her ass.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, just ridiculous. But yeah, and then of course, when we were talking that day, my mother was there with us, and she was like, "Yeah, you know, my son's a good guy. He never did anything wrong, whatever the case be." And they're like, "Ma'am, do you know how many times we've heard the 'he's such a good boy' story?" It's like, yeah, well, in this case, it's true. You fucking douchebags.
Yeah, you never talk to the police.
Actually, let me see if I can.
Not without a lawyer.
There's that card that was left for me, actually. Get myself big. Yeah, that was the FBI card that was left for me. My back door that day when they were beating my door in. So, which woke me up a dead sleep that afternoon, actually. And it's a good thing I didn't go to that door and they weren't there at the time because I would have definitely gone armed. So, it would have been holding the door altogether.
Might not be here if that was
Yeah.
happening.
Oh yeah, I guarantee I wouldn't be here if that happens.
Very true.
So I think it all worked out for the best, honestly, though. But yeah, it really showed like just the fuckery of this whole corrupt ass system. And the one thing I'm glad is I didn't say Joe Biden in that one because it almost was a Joe Biden kind of thing.
Oh,
And yeah, I would
God.
definitely be behind bars right now if that be the case. Like that's why I was sitting there like every day. I'm just like, please let Yang drop out of this race already. Come on, is he gonna drop out of the race already? And then we finally dropped the race the one day. I'm like, yes, thank God, thank God. I'm not gonna worry about anything now.
Yeah, like tactical hatchet one said, barely a presidential candidate, dude, had 0% chance of winning.
Well, and then he was also sitting there. He literally owned himself several times because this motherfucker had some supporter come up to him with a bottle of whipped cream and was like, dude, let me and my friend drop to our knees while you shoot whipped cream into our mouths. And he did
that was
so
weird.
on camera. And it's like, what the hell kind of gay shit is going on here?
Yeah, exactly what you want in a presidential candidate.
Yeah, like Yang was just a creepy motherfucker in general, though. So
Yeah, kind of like Vivek with that creepy ass evil smile.
Vivek is another one of these weird dudes, and I was talking to my brother about that the other day. Actually, we were discussing that because he was talking about if Vivek is on the level or not. And I'm like, yeah, dude. Like since you've been gone, I was like, I've done a bunch of deep dives into this dude, and like he's definitely a Manchurian candidate at this point.
You said he's what?
A Manchurian candidate, like Obama
What's
was.
that?
Manchurian candidate would basically be somebody who there was a movie that made about it years ago. Basically, it's just bought and paid for puppet is what it is there. Because the thing is with Vivek, so Vivek comes out of nowhere. The beginning of this year is what it was, like February, March place. Now when he announced his run for presidency, less than a year ago, Ohio had a governor's race, and about 18 months ago, we had a governor's primary where he could have primaried Mike DeWine out for the Republican primary easily on the platform he's trying to run right now. Become governor of Ohio and just been a sitting decent governor and done all the stuff he wants to do now as so-called president at a state level here in Ohio. Yet he was nowhere to be found during that time. And all of a sudden just randomly shows up this year. And it's like, that whole thing is suspicious as shit to me, honestly.
Yeah. Unless he didn't show up because he had already had plans of running for
Yeah,
president.
maybe. This one's actually pretty interesting. I know that Dinesh D'Souza is supposed to be a new thing called Police State. It says, remember the Biden regime weaponized FBI and DOJ to go after soccer moms at school board meetings. And it's basically talking about these women who were two of the people that the school board meetings there, and how you literally have FBI doing like surveillance footage and just all kinds of creepy shit. And I guarantee this is the kind of stuff that you were doing to me, by the way, back in 2019. And I guarantee there's like a file on me someplace to this day, probably, of shit like that right there, where they're like, what's Adam up to right now? It's like, well, I'm doing a live chat right now. So there you go. So, but yeah. I think honestly, looking back on it, the end game for them, because they even talked about like if I was going to be fairly prosecuted or not for everything I said in that thing or whatever. And I really think the end game was because the one guy was definitely trying to get me self-incriminate, which I never was going to, obviously, because I wasn't saying I was going to do that stuff. I was saying, what if somebody were to do something like this? And yeah, I think they were trying to turn me into an informant is what it was, like the Patriot Front guys and stuff like that. So anyway, or if nothing else, be their next MK Ultra agent like this dude here in Maine.
Yep.
All right, let's see if there's anything else going on with that right now before we finish up tonight. There, jump over here, jump over here. Let's see here. What is the latest here? Let's see, we got 22 minutes ago. Lewiston, Maine shooting. At least 16 dead now. Suspect still at large. Okay, let's see here.
I don't know. Something tells me that this one isn't going to get swept under the rug like the last one with the Trenifesto.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not.
Okay, we got 9 minutes ago. CNN's claiming 22 dead still. Vehicle of interest located in town of Lisbon, public safety order official says. It says vehicle of interest is located in Lisbon, Maine. Mike Sharsky, State Commissioner of the Department of Public Safety, said in a news briefing Wednesday night, Lisbon is about 8 miles southeast of the city of Lewiston, where the shooting unfolded earlier Wednesday night. Residents of Lisbon and Lewiston are being told to shelter in place as a manhunt for a person of interest. And the name of the guy continues. Says hundreds of officials continue to search for this man as he remains at large and is considered armed and dangerous. That dude noted that the shooting began around 6:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday evening, and there were multiple locations involved in it. So yeah, it sounds like it was several, like almost 6 hours now that they basically have this dude on the loose right now. Jesus. Yeah, there's definitely something going on there for sure. Whether it be the feds setting up a body, whether it be something else entirely, whether it be the guys even in Maine at all anymore, give up Canada for all the fuck we know now. So, actually, that was the one thing I will give Vivek. He went up to Canada here the last couple of weeks and was showing how easy it is to literally go from Canada down into America. And it's like this little teeny creek, basically, you can walk over. So, I wouldn't be surprised if that guy flipped to Canada at this point, honestly. Given how close Maine geography is to Canada there.
Yeah, he's right there.
So, who knows? Crazy, crazy stuff, though, either way. You guys have anything else to add then or no?
Stay strapped or get clamped.
Yeah,
Shit
that's about
in
it.
this world's getting fucking crazier by the fucking day. In some cases, crazier by the minute. So always stay protected. Protect yourself and you and your family, because when seconds count, help's nowhere to be found. You were your first responder.
My best personal advice is if you live in a constitutional carry state and the place claims to be a gun-free zone, they don't know that you're armed unless there's a metal detector there. I'm not saying go into government buildings or anything, but like, hey, if it don't have a metal detector in it, you can go into it. You're not legally, doing felony shit if they would catch you. Protect yourself at all costs, basically, because your life matters more than some dumbass sign does.
Or better yet, just don't give places like that your money.
Yep.
Yep.
You vote with your dollars.
All right, well, we'll be back tomorrow. Well, I will be anyway. I don't know how many of the panelists will be for Buckshot Thursday around 5 p.m. my time. So if anybody wants a link to that, let me know.
I'll be there as long as it's not during my meeting.
Yeah, we'll be talking about the latest update to what's going on here in Maine, mostly. And we'll also be going over new House Speaker Mike Johnson's whole deal there. And if, in fact, it will lead to one of the scenarios I talked about last week with World War III and the Second American Civil War becoming a thing at the same time. So, but other than that, closing plugs, gentlemen.
Say that again. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Said it so fast.
I said closing plugs, gentlemen.
No, I think we've said just about everything we could say.
Okay. Just be
At least
careful
for
out there.
YouTube, anyways.
Right.
Take it easy, people.
Yep.
See you guys.
See you guys in about 17 hours, give or take. So, later.
Later.